What are the steps to help you reprogram yourself so that you are truly using the power of expectation to create your life you desire? Step one, self-reflection. As you move through over these next 6 months, as you move through life, regularly assess what you are accepting from other people, from yourself, and from the world. Look for patterns. Look for patterns. Maybe you're always late. That's a pattern. The world responds to you in a certain kind of way. You'll find that you're always late and always unprepared. The world responds to you accordingly. You'll never get the gold ring. So self-reflection, look at your patterns, anything that may be hindering your growth. Step two, define your boundaries. You see, the boundaries that we define depend on how we feel about ourselves, our self-worth, and how we feel about ourselves, our self-esteem, our self-worth. Everything we interact with is interpreted through that. So if you feel a low self-worth, then they'll take advantage of you on your job. They'll know they can give you as much work as they can stand, and you'll do it and never complain. When you set boundaries for how other people deal with you, they learn who you are and what you're about. And they either handle it and make the changes necessary to interact with you in a positive way, or you get out of there. You know, sometimes you may end up being in a situation where you can't leave then. But if it's not conducive to your growth, prepare to leave soon. Your boundaries reflect your values, value for yourself, and your priorities. What's important to you? So define your boundaries clearly. Number three, let the world know. Communicate your boundaries. You know, so often people challenge you. You always have Goliaths. Sometimes you have these big Goliaths that challenge you, so that the David in you has to come out. But people challenge you in little ways. And so you always communicate who you are. You know, the moment a person steps out of line, recognize that any behavior that's not positive to you, that you don't confront, it will come back. And so learn how to stop, and that's not for me. You know, sometimes you'll be around people and folks will say, oh, you know, life is hard. You're like, not my life. Okay. Someone says, life is hard. I said, well, compared to what? So define and communicate your boundaries. Let people know. Let them know on your job. And they say, Harris is going to be here on time. He's going to do his work. Okay. But he's not going to let you abuse him. He's not going to let you take advantage. And he's going to tell you he needs a raise. He's going to add value to anything you're doing. Number four, be consistent. You see, when you define your boundaries, people respond to you based on your consistency. And it's a reason. I don't know why people always test you and situations always test you. Well, when I practiced law, my uncle used to tell me, he said, you know, when you're trying a case, he says, you have to beat these guys. And he says, it's funny, once you beat them in a case, after that, they become very cooperative. When you need a settlement, they go like, yeah, give Sneed whatever he wants. He says, but 6 months or so down the line, they'll challenge you again. And so you have to always be consistent so people know who you are. If you're not clear on who you are, then people don't really know how to respond to you, and they'll give you any piece of junk. And then finally, number 5, embrace growth. You don't get to Rome overnight. It's all about growing through the situations that confront you. Anything you can grow through, you can go to. And the interesting thing about growth is like climbing mountains. Once you get to the top of one mountain, what you see is, oh my goodness, there's another mountain. And when you get to the top of that mountain, you're like, oh my goodness, there's another mountain. And so to understand that this growth process now is about taking who you are, defining yourself in a way that's positive and uplifting to you, demanding that all the people who interact with you, that the world responds to you in a way that's congruent with your values and your priorities, and then resolve to keep going and growing. Only success, only results. When you can do these things, when you can self-reflect, when you can define your boundaries, when you can let the world know who you are and be consistent with who you are, and your growth takes place as you put yourself in that situation where you're surrounded with people who would challenge you, but every time you overcome the challenge, you become stronger and you rise higher. When you can do that, nothing is impossible. When you can use the power of expectation to create through your expectations a world exactly the way you want it to be, nothing is impossible. And you can truly be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have anything you desire, always knowing that the best is yet to come.